Yeah, sometimes working for a living means working from home. And our etiquette expert, Diane Gottsman, here on the couch this morning with some tips for people if they are going to be working from home, how to make it the most productive as possible, right?
That's right. You know, 32 million Americans work from home.
Wow.
That's a lot of workers
That
from home.
is
That's
a
right.
lot.
And so we got a question from a viewer, and she said, I work from home as a virtual assistant, and just because I don't go to the office every day, people tend to think I'm free to do favors and run errands. So every time I walk out the door, my neighbor rushes over to talk, wasting 15 to 20 minutes of valuable time. I can't afford to work at a coffee shop every day, but I get so distracted at home cleaning and tending to non-related work tasks, I need help. So here we are. This is what we're talking about today, and we all have experienced that on one side or the other. You were telling me about your husband getting annoyed with you.
My husband does work from home a lot, and he does get very annoyed with me when I come home. I turn on the TV or I'm trying to chat with him, and he's like, look here, I'm working, but it's hard. I mean, I don't know.
You're
you
his
gotta have
distraction. So I think the first thing to do is get up and get ready. If you are the one working from home, because we tend to behave in the way that we're dressed during the day. So if you pat around in your PJs or your yoga pants, you are going to behave that way throughout the day. So brush your teeth, brush your hair, and get ready. So dress office casual, meaning you don't have to dress formal, but at least something if you run out to the post office, people know you're working rather than just, you know, rolling out of bed for the moment.
That probably gets you started for the day too.
It
does. Gets you motivated a little bit to actually get up, get dressed, feel like you're getting ready for something.
You feel better. And then designate a workspace. So that's a productivity space. That could be anything. For you, it would be something different than what it might be for me. So it could be a kitchen counter. It could be a little place in the corner of your porch. It could just be any place that you have everything at your fingertips, so you don't have to go running around. So your poor husband, I don't know where we're going to put him.
I don't know either. He's kind of designated the kitchen counter or the couch.
That's right.
He has a little desk upstairs, but I think he likes to be, downstairs better.
He works better there, but not
when I'm there.
Not propped up with pillows, not in bed, not any place where your energy is going to wane, because you have to be productive.
Right.
So that's the next one, and then maintain a regular schedule. So if you go to work every day, you have a 9 to 5 or 8 to 4 or whatever it would be. So if you are going to work 3 hours a day, if you're going to work 4 hours a day, 6, 8 hours, whatever it is, do it every day, because especially as a virtual assistant, and this is what our viewer is doing, they want to know when they can hear from you. You know, is it going to be in the morning hours? Will it be in the afternoon hours? And consistently, if you set that schedule, people kind of know what to expect. So that's important. And then don't skip lunch. We don't skip lunch when we're at work in the office. Do you ever skip lunch when you're out?
We all do. But I think we kind of have a unique situation in the news business. But yeah, traditionally you wouldn't skip lunch, and it is an important part of your day.
And it gives you that little break. So if someone is calling you and you need to return phone calls, or you have to have something to sustain you, because then you start getting tired and you start losing your energy. So just take off, whether it's 15 minutes, whether it's 30 minutes, whether it's an hour to run your errands, and that's when you can get back, get back into focused gear and get back to your work, because your home is your office.
That also is a way to take care of yourself too, so you're not getting your schedule too packed full of meetings and things like that.
And you're setting boundaries. Right. That's so important. So this is where this viewer really needs to set some boundaries for herself. You know, I found, just go to your computer and make up front, we have a little hard at work, please do not disturb.
Husband's going to put
some
that up
flowers. Your husband's going to, this is going to be at your counter when you go home. But this is all around the house. This was all a cheap frame. Bring up some computer paper and something that's decorative so it doesn't irk your neighbors when they come to the door knocking. Do it at your front door, do it at your back door. But you have to say, listen, if you walk outside and you see someone, I've got 10 minutes and I really need to take a quick walk, I'm working. Or if your friend calls and says, on the way, when you pick up your child, can you pick up mine too and take her home, which is 8 miles in the opposite direction? You have to say, I'm working, I'd like to, but it just doesn't work. People are going to take your job as seriously as you take it.
That's very good advice.
It's important to set those boundaries and minimize those distractions. So if you have trouble looking out the window and watching the joggers, the window, a desk by the window is not going to be the place for you.
Right.
But perhaps you might want to be watching television. That motivates you, or listening to music. So whatever works for you, we all have different motivators. So it's important to know your interests and your level of focus, and that's how you prepare. That's how you know what to do, and then sign off. That means it's time to close for the day, whether you are at home, meaning you're turning off your computer, you are not checking your emails anymore unless you have to, unless that's something that you rely on. But you go to work and you come home, so you're at the home office, go to work and come home and do the same thing.
I would imagine a lot of people who work from home have a really hard time with that one, especially if they haven't set those designated hours and that schedule that you are going to work, because you feel like, oh, I'm at home, I can respond to this email, I can answer this phone call anytime.
And there's something about responding to an email at 9:30. It really says that you've got some time management issues.
Right.
So think about that. Just because you read it at that time doesn't mean you have to respond at that time. You can do it the next morning.
I wonder what people think when they get my email responses at 4:30 in the morning.
Does she ever sleep? What's going on here?
To my computer.
That's right.
Oh, great advice there, Diane. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. All tips for people working from home.
I'm going to borrow that sign for the Weather Center.
No, Lauren has to take it home.
Yeah, I know.
I'm trying to build a weather map. Leave me alone.